Episode 24, The Assignment. I got home that evening and I called to inform him of my safe arrival. We talked at length that night, and one of the discussions that popped up was his desire to have a duet with me. "I don't sing, sir," I told him.
"But you have the voice,"
he objected. "But I hardly follow musical keys," I defended.
"Yes, and I can put you through,"
he objected yet again. I wasn't winning on this, so I gave it a shot to really try for his sake. We have a 4-day class during my day off, and I was certain that it will strengthen our friendship. After the classes, we started rehearsing the song. He suggested that I also contribute to the lyrics. Someone is about to turn me into a musical artist by force. Smile. Well, being a writer was an added advantage, but according to him, I can't just come up with any words for a gospel song. As he said,
"In this kingdom, it's strictly God's way."
Oliver the psalmist is a lovely person, compassionate, caring, fun to be with, but in it all, the scriptures are the final manual. Sometimes I find it too compelling, other times I find myself thankful to be on check around him, which has illuminated even in his absence. He does have influence. After battling daily in my inner room for lyrics, I eventually came up with a complete sentence. When I told him about it, he laughed. It wasn't funny to me, but he assured me that I did well and encouraged me to add 2 more lines. This was a journey I wish I never started. After 1 whole month, I was finally able to get a full 4-sentence lyrics in one night. I felt I wasn't looking right where God wanted me to all this while. It was in my personal Bible studies, and I was studying the book of Psalms chapter 51 verse 16 and 17 precisely. When the people asked me, "Why Jesus?" I felt the right question should be, "Why not Jesus?" Looking at how selfless he is, a man who desires no sacrifice from us, just enough room for a great relationship with him. Such a man desires our all. We have always been the one taking without truly giving, and personally, I know no two-way relationship that works that way except the ones with Christ. I felt it's easier to be in a relationship whereby you have an added advantage on all sides. You get to receive without having to give, or at least just be true to the relationship. Such selfless love can only be found with Christ. When I wrote the lyrics of the songs and showed them to Psalmist, I could say he felt proud. It was a cool evening in December, the 2nd week precisely. I called him earlier that day to confirm his availability, as it wasn't any of our meeting days. He confirmed that he was free. I took a taxi and drove to his office. It looks like he was waiting for me because I found him seated at one of the round tables in the waiting room. I wonder who gave him the idea of such office settings, but I must say that I love the creativity put in place. My lyrics were written on a notebook I purchased from the store specifically for this project. He welcomed me with a smile as he ushered me to a seat opposite his.
"So, how are you today?"
he asked when I was fully settled. "I'm very well, thank you."
"How is work?"
he asked, concerned. It was written all over me how stressed I am. Taking one step at a time, I smiled.
"You do look stressed. When is your break?"
"Next week," I replied.
"This means you will be traveling home for Christmas, right?"
he asked. I couldn't figure out if it was a kind gesture question or a "don't leave me here" kind of a remark. Yes, sir. I haven't seen my family for almost a year now. I would love to celebrate Christmas with them. He was looking at me intensively without a word. I decided to cut to the chase and go straight to the reason why I came. Sir, these are the lyrics I was able to come up with.
Oliver, Ella, just call me Oliver.
His tone changed, and I can't tell if he was pissed at what I said. I gave him an apologetic face. "I'm sorry," I quickly apologized.
No, I'm sorry. It's just that I consider you a friend, and going about calling me Sarah makes me uncomfortable.
He cleared the miscommunication. "May I?" I passed the notebook with an open page to him. He read out loud.
God, you do not delight in sacrifice, or I will bring it forth with a prize. A broken spirit, a contrite heart, are what you desire from me to impart.
He looked at me and smiled.
This is beautiful, Ella. Though I'm curious as to why Psalms, or is it because of my stage name?
Well, he was partially right. Though I have been studying the book of Psalms quite often these days due to his influence. His songs often have 2 or more verses from the Bible, the book of Psalms specifically. So there must be the possibility it was partly because of him. Maybe, I replied.
Well, I love it. How does it sound?
I used the tune we drafted and sang the solo out to him. I could literally see sparkles in his eyes as I knew I did it. When I was done, he applauded joyously.
I'm impressed, very. You did a great job right here, and I love it. I'll keep this, but I still need your uniqueness to speak. I understand you're trying to stay within my limits, but you are limitless, Ella. You are the most creative writer I've ever met, and I know you have what it takes.
We wrapped up the season, and I was glad it was over. I was exhausted and just needed to get home already.
I will drop you.
He said, and for the first time, I didn't object. We drove down, barely saying much, just me giving him directions. When we got to my apartment, I thanked him and opened the door as I stepped out. "Thank you, sir. Oliver," I quickly corrected when he gave me the "you say what?" partial expression.
I love you.
I heard him say in a whisper, and I just needed to confirm if I heard right. "Sir?" I called.
Good night, Ella.
He said audibly. I wasn't sure anymore if I heard right, but whatever it was I thought he said, he didn't repeat it.